Okay, connecting and oh, seems we are live. Nice. Okay, let's start additional pool. It's good reminder. Can we get? It's just good reminder. I'm just trolling everyone and just reminding about hitting those like buttons, you know. That pool really helps to do that. Let me zoom a little bit in. Okay, we are not coding today. Of course, if you will have no questions, we can. I have my Xcode open. We can switch to the programming anytime. But I was thinking that maybe we could have some kind of discussion about just indie development, and we can discuss whatever you would like to ask. I just uploaded video a few days ago about revenue in 2022, basically last year revenue as an indie developer, and that was kind of nice to hit that. I hit multiple goals basically. Last year I set goal to, basically in my Twitter bio I had goal to get to the 2000 monthly revenue. Let me see, for some reason I do not see chat. I will try to reload this page. Oh yeah, no chat is bad, everything is good. Yeah, hello everyone. Latvian Daddy, yeah, here I am, yeah. No music, is it? Really? I think you're trolling me about music and maybe about sound as well. It should work already. So yeah, yesterday I released basically video where I am kind of discussing about revenue as an indie developer, and why I am doing that. I already kind of told in that video. Basically I did that just to share what is possible, and that often helps. You know, usually it is so when there are, for example, some world records in any sports, and when someone kind of breaking it, then also other kind of sport is kind of getting to that next level as well. I think that kind of helps to see that someone did something before you, and then you kind of can't do that. Then you kind of can't follow. And there are plenty of indie developers, not only on iOS. On iOS, not so many, but generally kind of indie hackers who are sharing what they are doing, what they are building, how much money they are making, and usually those are some crazy high numbers, and usually also that is not in mobile development. So I was thinking, so what the hell, why not? I would like to share basically what I did last year, and basically in last year I had in my Twitter bio kind of goal, get to the 2000 monthly recurring revenue. I got there, and in monthly revenue, basically what is monthly recurring revenue? Usually that is subscription based revenue, when you are kind of getting some amount of money every month, you know. And for just regular monthly revenue, that is kind of incoming money flow, I had goal in mind. Okay, my kind of wishful thinking goal was, okay, that will be amazing, but it is close to almost impossible to get to 5,000 in a month. And I started a year with 1,000, so five times more. In theory, everything is possible, but I kind of wrote it for myself. Okay, wishful thinking, 5,000, but if I will get to 3,000 in a month, I will be really happy. And yeah, I reached that goal as well. So basically, that was all video about, and I recorded basically what I did, what I didn't do, how I did that, what I tried, how I solved problems. That was all about that video. And on this live stream, we can just chat about whatever you would like to ask about indie development, basically whatever questions do you have. And yeah, of course, that is ask me anything. And of course, we can cover other kind of topics as well, but I don't know, Flutter versus React Native, maybe let's leave that for next stream, you know. Oh, Marco, you're not sleeping yet. Hello. Okay, I'm chatting up on chat now. Oh, Flo, nice to see you here. Hello. Flo is also mobile developer and indie developer as well. Okay, speed is not really being a factor anymore. Flutter was the benefit to native iOS. Speed still is factor for Flutter. New features coming sooner also is factor, you know. And for starter building MVP, Flutter could be fine if you are building something for MVP. MVP usually is something small. Flutter is just perfect tool for building MVP. I hear you, but very low. Really? Music is very quiet. Yeah, that could be so. Okay, let's fine tune a little bit. Sometimes we need to just launch that microphone application. That should work. Okay, and music I can make a little bit louder. I just don't want to have it way too loud. Okay, let's make the music louder, microphone louder, everything a little bit louder. Probably this is last time when I'm doing live streaming from the Windows. Fine-tuning with audio is kind of super pooper annoying. Okay, fastest and best way to learn iOS development. Grab tutorial and start to build your own projects. What kind of tutorial depends what teacher do you like. I am recommending, let me post some resources here in chat. Learning. I think that bot will pick up and will post resources. Here you have, those are few resources what I like. Okay. Catching up on chat. Where can I find remote internship work in Flutter? I don't know. I am not about Flutter. Hello, Alexandra. Poland. Nice. We have Poland in chat. Oh, new member. Who is it? I missed notification. Let me check those. Appreciate your support. Appreciate members. Oh, everything is lagging. Huh. I do not see it here. Aha, I see. Rafael. Thank you, Rafael. Welcome to the club. Appreciate your support. Okay. GSDev, how to start, where find ideas for apps. I would like to build web apps. Basically, ideas about apps. How I do, I'm building applications for myself. Basically, looking what I would like to, what kind of problem I would like to solve for myself. For very first projects that doesn't make big difference, you just can't start to rebuild something already existing just for training. If you're trying to build business, then you should try to solve some problems, and it is great if you can solve problems for yourself. If you don't have any problems what you could like to solve, then look around you. I don't know, some user groups, friends, stuff like that, you know. This Marco wanted to ask to collaborate on project, but I googled and saw that what I wanted to make is kind of illegal. Well, maybe it is not illegal here, or I don't know, somewhere in between in another country. Okay, kidding. For Swift UI, which architecture we should follow? For Swift UI, basically, if you are kind of following what Apple is kind of using and teaching, that is MVVM, and that works just fine. Sound music all good. Okay, I made that a little bit louder and talking to the microphone, so should be even better. Okay, lost the chat, getting back. Thanks for the content. Haven't you tried the UK or US job market? That's Max Speed asking. UK job market, no. I'm getting LinkedIn recruiters sending time to time jobs in UK, but lately it is more like Sweden and yeah. But I didn't try. But I was working for company from US for quite a long time. Morris Tyler, are you not afraid Apple might one day cancel your developer account and put you out of the business? That is my main concern. Yes, but currently we are kind of moving forward to that side load and all that stuff. And I don't know, I do not do anything shady. And so far, of course, problems may happen, but I think that's kind of very low possibility, you know. Have you ever tried promotions for apps? I tried App Store ads when they was just released. I tried that, and I'm planning to try a little bit more. MB dealer from Twitch chat. Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you for support here as well. Yeah, it's kind of tricky to kind of connect people between different social platforms. I'm trying to do my best to recognize each and every one, but yeah, not always happens. Davis, you are doing a great job. It's very inspiring to hear what you do. Oh, thank you, Davis. Yeah. Do you have ideas, or maybe you have seen researched some other niches for indie dev besides iOS or gaming development? I kind of didn't, because I use it basically what I know how to build. You know, I was looking into that, but I didn't do any kind of research. But I think I could come up with ideas for web apps as well if I will do that as well. You know, how much do you sleep? 6 to 8 hours. Okay, it's kind of a little bit lying. Let me open my sleep plus. How much I sleep and how much I'm trying to sleep, that's kind of two different kind of things, you know. So here you can see previous night was 7 something hours, then 3 hours, then 8 hours, something like that. But 6 hours, 7 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 9 hours, 5.5, 3.5. So average 5-ish probably, something like that. Probably not enough, but I don't know. I feel I'm feeling perfectly well. I don't know. Maybe I will feel better if I will sleep 9 hours, but I don't know. Last night I slept 3 hours and I was, I don't know, high energy. Everything was fine during the day. I know that it depends on person. You know, for example, my wife needs to sleep way more. She needs those 8 hours. I was working and living on 4-hour nights for quite a long time, but that is too extreme. 5 to 6 hours is comfortable for me, but I'm trying to sleep more. Just got my first dev job in company with Node.js, and it's a bit difficult to come up with ideas. Yeah, I think you are not exactly. You are not trained for that yet. For those who have problems come up with ideas, I will challenge you to come up with one product idea every day. Doesn't matter how it is good, how profitable, how bright it is. Do not care about that. Just make exercise for a month. So February just started for February. One idea for a product every day. And just write those down. And at the end of the month, you definitely will have at least few good ideas. If you still don't have them, keep going, you know. But that will kind of help you to move your brain into that kind of looking for ideas, and that will help you. Did you run ads to get indie revenue? I just implemented ads in one application, and then I will see does it make sense to do that or not. So I will come up with results in about a month, something like that. Do you get angry if stuck somewhere in programming? No, I will say sometimes I lost focus and stuff, but no. What is the most important thing to focus when you start a journey as an indie developer? That's kind of tricky question. I will say not to focus, but I will say not to do, Bruno. I will say, when you're starting as an indie developer, I see quite often that the new coming indie developers trying to build something too complicated and make it perfect before launching. So I have to add, I don't know, social sharing, I have to add this and that. That is kind of a wrong approach. I'm not saying that you should ship kind of crappy product, but if you have product idea, for example, you have product idea, you have idea for the app, then think what is the main feature for this application, basically to do one thing and do that one thing very well, just implement that. And do you have something else that is actually necessary? So do you need some, I don't know, user profile, something like that? Maybe it is not necessary for first version, so skip it. Do you need, I don't know, basically make really minimum viable product. Do not kind of overcomplicate that solution. Otherwise, that can happen so that you are working way too long on that project. You are already running out of the inspiration. Then you release that product and nothing happens, and you are kind of annoyed, and that's kind of bad. That's one thing. Another thing, try to market it as you go. That's also another kind of problem that kind of beginners are doing, trying to keep it in secret, basically sitting in the corner and kind of showing to no one and just building it for 6 months or a year and then releasing that application without any marketing and expect that, oh, everyone will go and download this application. No, that will not happen. You have to talk with your customers, potential customers, with those to whom you're solving this problem. How you can do that? Basically go to user groups, go, I don't know, to Twitter, try to write about the topic that you are trying to solve, and then you will get into the communication flows with potential customers and all that stuff. That's my kind of suggestion. What camera do I use? I have Canon ESR and lens is 15 to 35 millimeters zoom lens, and it's total overkill for web camera, but for YouTube it is just fine. Camera itself is kind of old already, for 4 years, something like that, 5 years. Do you have some good resources service that could be used to implement an app purchase subscriptions for app? Yes, I'm using Revenue Cat. What is your suggestion for a full-time Flutter developer working remotely for the next step? It's hard to suggest me because I'm not in Flutter. Let me say so. I do not know what could be path for Flutter developer. Is it kind of looking around for and looking into native development? Maybe. I think you could be more effective if you can switch to the native development when you need that. I don't know if you talked about marketing. Could you please tell more about strategies? Currently, I'm just sharing my work, and that's basically my main marketing. I'm planning to double down in App Store optimization, which I already do, but planning to do that more, and then I will create some content around that. What do you think about Obsidian? I'm using it. It's a nice application, but a little bit too chaotic for me. Do you think MacBook Air M2 16GB will be enough for iOS development? That will be perfect machine. I'm really happy that you are looking on to 16GB of RAM. That's great. Where is my cute coworker? Cute coworker is sleeping already at it's 10:20 here, so he's already sleeping. It depends on the people. Because of the day peeps and some night. At least we have around 6 hours sleep. Yeah, there are. I kind of agree, Thomas, with that there is a day and night people and so on, but you can change that. I was thinking that I am night all my kind of life, but when it was needed, I switched to be morning person, and I have no problems to wake up at 4 at morning or 6 at morning. I'm waking up currently every morning at 6, but for a long time I was waking up at 4, and I was kind of thinking that that's true night owl. No, I'm not. Where I am from? I'm from Latvia. That is a small country next to Baltic Sea. We have border with Russia, next to Finland, North Europe basically. If I sleep 8 to 9 hours, I will wake up with head pain. I can't really sleep 8-9 hours. I can, of course, if I'm sleeping, I don't know, short nights for 5-hour nights and then for one day I'm sleeping 8 or 9 hours. But if I'm regularly going early to the bed, I'm usually waking up after 7 hours of the sleep. Can you provide us with good roadmap to master iOS? Oh, I have to create a video about that. That is not kind of short question to answer. Do you think it is still profitable to build only native iOS apps as an indie developer? I think yes. I think yes, Oliver. And especially because Android users, they are not willing to pay for the applications. Not really kind of not willing to pay, but they are less happily paying for apps comparing with iOS users. And basically by building both applications, if you are building Android and iOS application, you are spending time on Android, right? So does that spend time worth in time? Are you getting that money kind of back? Is it basically, if you could spend the time on iOS only, maybe you will make more money. That's in most cases is true. And yeah, if you are referring to cross-platform development, there are problems with cross-platform development. It is not. So that's why native development still exists. Cross-platform is that's compromise always. Yes, you can get kind of working application on both platforms, but that is not the same like make native application. Can you recommend the best tool to control the subscription model? Again, if you are talking about subscription as in a payments, I'm using Revenue Cat for about 2 last years, and that works just fine. And you can use it for cross-platform apps and web apps and all that stuff. How do you get freelance works? Freelancing. There is a video about that. In that video, basically, I covered all the ways how I was looking for freelance jobs. Check out that video. How looks your typical day as indie iOS developer? So I'm indie and freelance iOS developer. Usually, on the morning, I'm waking up at 6 o'clock. I'm kind of going walk with dog, coming back home. If I'm hungry, I'm eating breakfast, but usually I'm not eating it. And basically I'm jumping to the work, and then I'm working until 9-10 at the morning, from 7 to 9-10 on the morning on my side projects. And then I'm switching to the freelance job, working till noon. Then I'm usually eating, working again till the end of the workday on freelance project. And then I have at the evening, I have family time. And at night, at about 9-ish, my family is going to sleep, and then sometimes I'm sitting with you on live streams, sometimes I'm working on my side projects again, sometimes I'm going to sleep. That's it. Very boring, Does curved monitors are better? That's personal choice. But for very wide monitor, better kind of to have it curved, yeah. I had 49-inch monitor with slight curve, and that was fine. I'm 14. Can I work web development? Depends on legal kind of regulations in your country. Is spending 4 hours in a day for studying enough? Yes. That is if you really kind of doing deep learning for 4 hours, that's amazing. That's great. Are you on TopTal or Upwork? I planned to apply for TopTal, but I become busy with work on Upwork, and I never did that. And currently, I'm working with direct customers only, and I am on Upwork. I have an account, but I'm not active there. When you will switch to Flutter and become real mobile developer? Marco, you troll. I already do not remember. Did we discuss that on Discord or on that probably was Discord. Actually, I'm kind of thinking if I will have time for that this year, then I will do Flutter application. Hey, next week I will start my first job as iOS developer. Oh, congrats. Could you give me some tips? Yes, Pavel. Firstly, yeah, congrats. That's amazing. And secondly, I will kind of suggest you to make some kind of your own personal knowledge Wikipedia. Basically, write down things that you learn and know specific for that work project. Basically, how to sign something, what to do. I don't know. Basically, stuff like that. And yeah, just to be sure that you kind of really learning things what you are what more senior developers teaching to you and saying to do. Oh, Sasuke, hello, thank you, appreciate your super chat. How did you motivate yourself to keep learning? Oh, it's okay, I will give you kind of short version. I never had problems with motivation. Longer version and what is kind of real version, you don't really need motivation. You have to, I will say, you have to sit down and kind of think about what you would like to achieve in your life. And basically, then you have to think what you should do to achieve that in your life, and then you have to kind of prepare kind of some plan. Basically, you would like to become developer in 1 year, for example. You know what does it means? So basically, you will be able to learn, I don't know, iOS development, for example, enough to be able to apply for the jobs. Is it doable in 1 year? Yeah, easy. So basically, you will need to build some 3-4 kind of portfolio projects, learn that. So basically, you know what you should want to do, what you would like to do. Then you basically should make a plan. Basically, you will learn every day, for example, for 2 or 4 hours. And then you basically, while you're still sitting down, then you're kind of think, what will happen if you will do nothing? For example, you will play video games and will work in job what you kind of sucks and do not like for a year, for 2 years, for 5 years. Nothing will change. You will just feel miserable, you know? You will have no progress. And basically, you need to stick to your plan. You have not motivation, but discipline. And when you feel that you don't really feel that you would like to work, okay, skip a day, take a break. But do not skip 2 or do not skip 3 days and do not skip a week. Skip a day if you already see that, okay, I'm working for 2 months already every day, or I don't know, every work day, and I would like to go with, I don't know, with my girlfriend, I don't know, to trip or something. Do that. But when you are just kind of sitting on the morning and thinking, I don't really feel today about learning, better I will play video games, then kind of think about where you will get in your life if you will just play video games all the time. That's about it. And yeah, plan time for rest. Do not kind of burn yourself down, you know. So you don't need motivation. When you will switch to Android development, maybe. Hello, everyone. Lot of subscription cancellations. I will suggest you to add some monitoring to your application to understand some analytics, to understand what users are doing. Maybe something going wrong. Crashes, of course. Maybe some functionality doesn't work. Maybe they're doing something strange, you know, stuff like that. What strategy do you use to eliminate distractions? Nothing serious, I will say. I have short attention span. I don't know, maybe I have some ADHD, whatever, but basically I'm kind of distracted all the time. But I'm kind of just have some highlight tasks what I would like to do in the day, and I'm trying to kind of complete those highlight tasks. I'm basically on the beginning of the day, I'm setting up to 3 tasks, and I'm saying if I will complete 1 task of my list, that will be a great day. If I will complete 2 tasks of them, that will be amazing day. If I will complete all the 3 tasks, I'm a hero, you know. And do you think that small app with 1 or 2 features is more easy to make money and organic ranking rather than complex application? What was your experience with small habit app? With small habit application, I will say that's kind of hard to say because marketing was working well. So what is marketing? Basically, I shared that I'm using this application, I don't know, for a few months already. And currently I launched it on beginning of January, and currently I have about 600 downloads. That's cool for a new application, especially habit tracking applications. App Store is full with habit tracking applications. So, and that is small application that's doing one feature. Okay, I had bug today, but yeah, okay. So, answering your question, I still think that I'm basically sticking with that. I'm making small applications, which makes kind of one kind of thing, and trying to do that thing well. I think that is a way to go for indie developers, because building huge and complex applications is kind of hard for one person team. And what was your question? Organic ranking. Ranking is basically the App Store optimization. And that doesn't really matter what kind of functionality you have. That's more like about App Store optimization. But I think that if you're solving some specific problem for some specific user group, basically I don't know my freediving applications, that's some specific very niche group, freedivers, that is small problem that they like to solve, the training, very specific thing. It works, they are using it, and I could add, I don't know, blackjack and whatever else in that application. Could that help for sales? Unlikely. I still think for indie developers, small applications with kind of simple but effective functionality is the key to go. What is good hourly rate for iOS freelance though? Depends on country, of course, but I will say about $100 per hour, something in that range. Marketing app is hard, yes, without money. And content marketing works, you know. I believe growing a YouTube channel is a great way to do it. Marketing, it's huge time effort. I don't think it is good way. Yeah, thank you, Richard. I think that, you know, YouTube channel is total overkill for application kind of marketing. Have you created an app with Firebase or iOS Lambda? I created app with Firebase. Which would you suggest? I have no experience with iOS Lambda, but Firebase was easy to implement. Good evening, Kevin. Richard, I wish I know a solution. Yeah, same. What helped for me do it like is just a daily routine and push yourself on the low days and just do it for 5 minutes. Yeah. Oh, that's also kind of good suggestion from Thomas. Basically, that's kind of going back to motivation and discipline. So even if you do not feel that you would like to work, that's basically, yeah, exactly, that pushing yourself. And what means pushing yourself? Then in those cases, I'm using Pomodoro application and I'm saying, okay, I will work for those 25 minutes, whatever that Pomodoro timer is. And I'm doing nothing else, not scrolling Twitter, not doing nothing, not going to YouTube, nothing else. If that's programming, okay, I'm opening Xcode and I don't know, in worst case scenario, I will just sit for those 20 minutes and 25 minutes and start into the Xcode. Of course, you don't do that. You at least start to comment some codes and you kind of start to kind of update some functions, and then you already tricked yourself into the working. How do you stay focused when working on side project? After a full-time job, I can focus on my side projects. In my case, Alexander, the trick is I am working on the mornings when I have the highest energy, when I am most productive. Basically, I'm saving the most productive hours for myself. When I was learning programming, that was the same. Basically, when I was coming back from work, I was already tired. Then, family, kids, all that stuff, distractions. Now, morning, I was waking up for 2-3 hours before work, learning. Then I started freelancing at that morning time. And I'm still doing that. I'm waking up at 6. I'm working on my own projects and freelancing starting only at 9:30, 10 in the morning. So... Hussam released first app about 40 days ago and got only 45 downloads. Yeah, exactly. Marco also released a habit tracking application, but in the Android store, and he got also something like 10ish. When we discussed it, I don't know, a week ago, he said he got 8 or 10 downloads, something like that. Marketing make a big difference. If you have audience, that's great. You can kind of, and yeah, and also of course, audience, that depends. If I will. For example, my audience looking into the statistics, all that stuff, mostly that is from 18 to 14 years old males, very few women, I don't know, something like 5%. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to see each and every woman in the chat, but that is minority. So if I will make some woman focused application, I don't know, ovulation tracks, stuff like that, applications, I don't know what else, I have no other kind of specific for women's applications. That will be very hard for me to kind of market that application for my audience, because just my audience is not the target audience. But habit tracking applications, that is something that everyone who is kind of learning programming, kind of trying to become programmer, stuff like that, could use. And therefore that application was working kind of quite well for my audience. So I got already something close to 600 downloads. What is your opinion? Oh yeah, Marco, Flutter will kill native development until 2024. Hopefully not sooner. What's your opinion on all the latest tech layoffs of the big and medium companies? Is it recommendable to start a business yourself, or what do you think about the future? Oliver, those companies overhired all the time. They had too much developers, and they just find that they kind of cut the part of them off. Is kind of development industry in danger? No, I don't think so. Is it good to have multiple revenue streams? Yes, always. What do you think about Subbase? I heard about it, didn't took a look on it. David Smith has to create a new company for every app idea because so many people were copying his new ideas. I don't really believe he made new company for each and every application. Maybe, but he released it. He probably has the biggest app count in the App Store. It's kind of, then he have probably about 50 companies. And how that will help with app idea copying? Basically, to do not have all of those applications under the same development account. I don't know, maybe. But for the last few years, he's kind of working on widget Swift only. Keep track about how many days you did something. When you are done something for 100 days, then it is hard to not to do on day 101. Yeah, I agree with that. I was running for a month every day, and I finished that running, and I was thinking, okay, tomorrow I'm not running. And when tomorrow came, I just wear my sneakers and went out for the run. And that was February, and that was snow, winter. It was a few years ago. Hi, different mobile app database options. I don't know, I use it from local databases. I use it Core Data, of course. I use it Realm for kind of online databases. I use it Parse, I use it Firebase, and then all the custom solutions that was used on different projects. What is the best? Hard to say. I don't know. I will say if I have to choose, I'm sticking with platform provider. So it's for iOS, that's Core Data. Kind of less problems with upgrades, migrations, new iOS versions, all that stuff. Which app is helping you to stay in focus? There is no application. Pomodoro kind of little bit. It kind of helps to get into the flow. Flutter versus React Native versus Kotlin versus Swift. Depends on your goals, Erdal. That is not valid question. For example, if you need to develop iOS application only, then kind of Swift is only right answer, If you need Android application only, so Kotlin is the right answer. If you need both applications, then depends. If you are experienced JavaScript developer, of course, React Native is the way to go. If you know nothing, it's kind of not the best choice to go with React Native, you know. Thank you for your good advice. You're right. When I come home, I just want to take a break. Yeah. Morning coding will be the best solution. Focus on side project. Yeah, try to do that. And suggestion for that, I will say, for example, if you are regularly waking up at 8 o'clock, do not expect that you will set alarm at I don't know 5 at the morning, and just will wake up and everything will be fine. Start to kind of move that. Do small steps, you know. If your regular kind of wake up time is 8 o'clock, so start wake up at 7:30 for a week maybe, then move that alarm to 7 and so on. I moved my alarm back to 3:30 in that way, so I was waking up in 3:30 at morning for a long time. What do you do for promote your apps? Do you have any app store tips or marketing strategy? So far I used AppRadar, that application for App Store optimization. Basically they're kind of helping you to figure out those descriptions, hashtags, all that stuff. I used that for App Store optimization. That was kind of paid service. There is trial. Basically you can jump on trial, use it for I don't know how many days, kind of do all the optimization and jump off from the trial again. I did that. Currently I have App Figures subscription, but I got it on Black Friday, but I still didn't start to use it. That is in my to-do list. That is another kind of service for App Store optimization. I just was very busy, you know, all the time. But yeah, those priorities, you know, I should, yeah, but definitely will do, but I don't know when. I should do that in March. And I have one more. I just got one more kind of App Store optimization tool to play around. And yeah, I will do definitely something in February, and then I will do some video about that. So I do some App Store optimization, but I'm not the best example in that. And yeah, another is just kind of building in public that content marketing stuff. That's it. That's all that I do. Yeah, and do that today. Yeah, exactly. Swift Army. David Smith told Marco Armed he had tried 80 different apps under different company names. Okay, 80. I was thinking something around 50. This was in podcast last year. Maybe he moves them to his main account once they are proven. Okay. Under different company names. Yeah, I just don't think he making a kind of new legal entity for those 80 apps. That was I was kind of saying. And copycats, they are around all the time. That's kind of overkill to keep each and every application under the different names, I think. But yeah, he has the biggest amount of, as solo developer, probably he is most productive one. I'm back in Java though, but I am getting interest into iOS development. Do you think I can find eventually job with iOS dev? Yeah, of course. Why not? Of course you can. Of course you can. And if you are working in big company, check out maybe you can kind of switch jobs in your company. Basically move from web development to mobile development if that's possible. In's magazine interview about Widget Smith. The 59th try was the win for independent developer David Smith. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and he's. I was listening his podcast. There was something like Coffee Break, something like that, for a while ago, and Marco Arment was on also different podcasts, Build and Analyze. I listened to that podcast as well when I was not in the iOS development yet. Those two podcasts was kind of inspiring for me. And yeah, David Smith is just crazy guy. I'm Android developer, but currently I was without job for 5 months. I got burnout from my last job and decided to take a vacation. How to back into the mobile field? Sorry for not to be an iOS guy. That's fine. Marco Novakovic also is more Android, but a little bit cross-platform developer. Okay. How to get back into the mobile field? I don't know. There are plenty of mobile development jobs around. I will, if you are kind of looking and you have different problems with getting jobs, what I will do, I will look into the LinkedIn first if I would look for kind of job. Is Flutter scalable for big projects or not? Again, Marko Novakovic could answer this question better. I would say I don't have personal hands-on experience, so I will not talk about that. But I heard and I read comments from on my video about Flutter. Basically, those who was kind of claiming that Flutter is great, they just say that Flutter is great and that's it. Those who commented that yeah, you are kind of right that Flutter is not the best kind of development tool for all the problems. They say that that's the problem when you are kind of getting into the big problems. When you have kind of big projects, then you have problems with scalability. But I don't have personal experience. Thanks for replying. Glad I found this YouTube channel. Oh, thank you. Yeah, nice. Glad to have you here. Yeah, nice to have you here, Pinoy. David Smith, 18 different accounts. I don't know if it really have 18 accounts, but yeah. What do you think about artificial intelligence? Is it going to fully replace developers? No, I don't think we will get replaced. And I'm using artificial intelligence, and I'm happy to have it. You know, it really helps to speed up the job. I think in kind of near future, our jobs are safe. I don't know. That's just, I don't know, another level of abstraction. You know, we was writing. Is camera live? Yeah, it is. We were using, I don't know, low-level programming languages. Then we kind of moved kind of to higher level of abstraction, objective-oriented programming languages, all that stuff. Now we will get artificial intelligence tools. Yeah, maybe that the programming will become faster, more effective, and so on. Maybe we will need kind of less programmers to do the same amount of job that we are doing now, but at the same time we will be able to do more and faster. And currently I do not see that kind of need for developers going down. Currently, basically, more projects are not kind of continued. Basically, many projects are stopped or not started just because development is too expensive. So development could become cheaper, not because programmers will earn less, but because they will be more effective with jobs. That's what I am thinking. We'll see. BMW doing most things in Flutter, so it probably can handle big projects. I don't know. I'm not sure that is the kind of the best application in the market. You know, also Philips is doing the same, you know. So yeah, just read what Marco wrote about Flutter. So, hi folks, but how can I write Flutter libraries? Yeah. Are you excited about Apple Reality glasses? Yes, but you know, no one kind of know yet what that will be. But yeah, I'm looking forward to play with them. Okay, Alexander, how can I stop being afraid to ask business owners for more income? I just feel like I should be getting more than I am getting today, but my mental barriers always stop me. I asked for rise when all those kind of big layoffs kind of happened, and I got it. And basically, you kind of, I don't know, you should just. So if you are working for some specific time, let me say how I will do that. If you are working for some specific time, I don't know, for example, year, then in this company there is no any kind of yearly performance review and so on. I just said, okay, there is no yearly performance review. Can we kind of just talk about rise and all that stuff? Because I already kind of, when I started to work on this project, I said, oh, okay, it's fine now, but maybe we'll talk about money in a year, you know. But if you don't have that kind of negotiations, that relationships, that level, you can just ask, oh, okay, currently we are kind of earning so much. If you are working in a job, something, if you are like working like employer, then just, you know, kind of go and ask, what should I do to be promoted? What should I do? What goals I have to achieve to kind of earn more? So simple. Maybe kind of with more words, not so straightforward, but basically like that. For business, if you are kind of building products and apps as a freelancer and all that stuff, for businesses, those businesses are raising prices as well. They are aware that inflation happens, and they understand that everyone kind of raising prices. And you can just kind of come down, sit down, and kind of talk about that and say, okay, I have to raise my prices to keep working with you. I like to work with you. Your project is great, or relationships are great. All is perfect, but I have to raise prices just to be able to continue to work with you and all that stuff, you know. If they're saying, okay, we can't, it's too expensive for us, we are kind of in money difficulties, okay, maybe then you can talk about how we can kind of deal with this situation. Okay, you have limited budget. Currently I'm working for 5 days in a week for this budget. Okay, we can stick with budget, but I will work 4 days in a week instead of 5. Something like that, you know, just communication. Everyone basically is the human. Hey Luis, hello. Will Swift UI someday overtake UI Kit? Yes, definitely. It's happening already. Hi, I was a big fan of yours. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Quick question. How to find app development ideas that could be profitable? I have a video about that. Check out, there is indie devel. Okay. Channel. Playlists. Live streams. Where are my playlists? Portugal vlogs. Co-working streams. Not this one, not that one. Here. Indie development playlist. No, do not play it. So here is indie app development playlist. I will share a link to all that playlist just in case you are interested to watch all of it. But answer to your specific question is in this video. Here it is. App building stories, how to find profitable app ideas. That is exactly answer to your question. And yeah, check that. If you will have any additional questions, just write kind of it in comment. I'm kind of trying to answer all of the comments, and or reach me out on Twitter or in Instagram. Hey, Stefan also is here. Also we have Discord. Can I type? I can't anymore. Yeah, also in Discord we have just chat room about indie app development, all that stuff. Basically, channel. Go to that channel and ask whatever you have to ask. I'm opening Discord at least once in a day to answer everything. Have you worked with React Native sometime? No. I have theory it is easier to be a freelance iOS developer than getting a full-time job as iOS developer because you don't have the application process and you even earn more as a freelancer. Depends. I applied for a freelance project and I had 3 rounds of interviews. There was HR, then there was head of tech team, and then there was third was basically technical interview with iOS team lead. So depends. Is 16 GB MacBook Pro enough to run simulator and iOS dev, or you sometimes feel like it will be better upgrading the specs? It is completely fine, no problem with that. I can even handle stream and working at the same time. If I'm streaming and working at the same time, compiling takes a little bit more time, but RAM is just fine. I was kind of looking onto M2 Max machine, which has 32 GB in kind of default configuration, but that's kind of throwing money out to the window, so I don't really need it. So I will try to I will try to do not skip it. Do not buy it. Screen is laggy. Screen? Which screen? How's day going? Day is going to the end. I planned the stream for about an hour, and we are coming to the end of the stream. And but the day was great. Okay, promotion. Nikolai, we just discussed it about twice. Just please take a look in a record, but basically I covered that. How less time? 6 months, I would say, to learn something for a job. If you are learning something for a job for 6 months, just focus on something, I don't know. Check out what is really kind of needed to get the job and learn exactly that, nothing else, you know. I think that's still doable. Of course, depends how much time in a day you have for those 6 months, you know. In Discord, the hot shit takes place, yeah. Don't you think that I will replace junior developers? And yeah, it is already hard to get job as junior developer, and that could become even harder. But companies still have to grow their talents, and junior developers will be hired in the future as well. Yeah, that may become a little bit harder. Cookie cutter answer. Yeah. Do you use Hackintosh for development? Not anymore, Roman. I used Hackintosh for development for about 9 months, and I stopped using it as soon as I got my hands on M1 MacBook. It just doesn't make sense. That PC behind me, that was Hackintosh. It is i9, 32 gigabytes with AMD RX 5700 XT GPU card. And for programming, it is slower than my current machine, and that was in about same speed for compiling with M1 MacBook. So doesn't make sense to use Hackintosh anymore. Currently it is just streaming. I'm streaming from that machine and using it for games. That's it. I think I can take over because I is tamper proof. I need to work with the data. Someone needs to eat. Yeah. Your videos have been very motivating. Nice. Thank you, Robbie. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, and also I'm using ChatGPT, and I'm using Copilot, which also is kind of artificial intelligence for programming. And Copilot is a little bit more kind of, I will say not little, I will say better, much better in their suggestions. ChatGPT sometimes kind of answering nonsense. Hey, Rafael, hello. New M2 Pro Mini for app development. Kind of yes, but you know that M2 Pro, when you start to spec it out, it becomes crazy expensive very fast, and it is basically you can get M1 Max Studio for the same price. If you are kind of targeting some machine learning where you need GPU, if you are maybe doing some content creation a little bit there and there, if you need more external monitors, so maybe M1 Studio with M1 Max is still better choice than M2 Pro Mini. So it's kind of tricky kind of question. Depends on details basically, but yeah, good machine. I will say regular M2 Mini for budget development machine is great. M2 Pro already getting expensive very fast. Where to read about GDPR compliance rules, and was it difficult for you to study this issue? Oh well, I studied GDPR started to come into the when I was still in product management, and basically I had a chance to spend quite a lot of time to read all of that, but I don't know any good resources anymore, and currently it is not anymore my responsibility to care about that on my iOS development product. So my information is, I don't know, 3, 4, even more years old already. Nice rig. Oh, thank you. Opinions on the M1 Pro MacBook Pro. It's an amazing machine. I'm using it right now. It's really good. Hello, Evgeny. Do you use any shortcuts on your MX mouse for programming? None. I'm not using even those additional buttons here on the bottom. I'm just using side scroll and just regular scroll, and that's it. Your videos have been very motivating. Nice, thank you. Oh, diving developer, hello, welcome. I'm fresher developer. Tips for me to land a job. I'm fresher, land a job. I don't know. Build portfolio, learn more, and kind of try to when you will go for interviews, job interviews. Do not start with company which is on the top on your kind of wish list to get in. Start from the bottom, and basically go on those first 5-10 interviews just for training to understand what is your weak points, all that stuff. Hey Diano, hello. Maybe you know good course for not junior devs. That is kind of a bit problem. I have experience as backend dev, but for me interesting iOS stack as hobby. So not for junior devs, that's always is tricky because juniors is mass market and all the kind of teaching content is kind of targeted on beginners, and also that is easy to create, download Xcode, that's how you add buttons, yada yada. What I will say there is hacking with Swift is kind of good resource, and hacking with Swift has this hacking with Swift Plus program, and there are some more advanced kind of tutorials and stuff like that. Maybe try to take a look in that. I will start buying new Macs now, as I read that Apple will increase the prices again. Interesting. Michelle, long time follower here. Okay, nice, hello. What's your plan to get to 10k MRR? Multiple apps or focus on a specific app and make it as amazing, as profitable as possible? I'm definitely going with multiple apps strategy, for sure. I think that is easier. Which is your favorite keyboard for coding? Currently it is this ZX75 for iQnix. But I'm waiting for one more which will be kind of put it together by yourself keyboard. I bought a light bar because of your setup. Oh, interesting. Yeah, light bar is cool. I removed light bar from my main monitor now. Where is my main monitor? Here. I removed it here now because I'm sitting in front of the window and basically I have enough light during the day already on the desk. when I was sitting in the corner of the room, it was really helpful. And I moved that light on the gaming kind of setup. It's still how I have both of them and like them. I have the M1 14-inch and it works great. Yeah, those are great machines. Do you use any tool to build user interface prototypes, wireframes? Not really. Usually my approach when I'm building my own applications, my workflow is like that. Basically I have API in my mind, then I'm kind of sketching something on paper or with just Apple Pen on iPad, sketching that, and have some rough sketch, and sometimes I'm then just jumping to the Xcode and that's it. Do not do any wireframing or what else not. If I need kind of more detailed kind of design, if I don't still have clear picture in the mind, then I'm jumping to the SketchUp or Figma, and basically kind of sketching user interface there, creating user interface there. But I do not do kind of really prototypes, because for whom? Prototypes are necessary and needed when you have team with people to just kind of clarify your ideas and agree how that will look, how that will work, to how kind of understanding what you decided. If you are just one person company, that's just slow you down. You don't need that, you know. And it's better to make that prototypes. In SwiftUI, user development is very fast. Just make that prototype application, play around a little bit, see what works, what not. Maybe you would like to change something. Any good books you will suggest for me to read for something with no programming skills? Oh, Diano, that's kind of tricky question. That I will say that depends on your end goal, what you would like to build. Anyways, even if you are just planning to pick programming as hobby, you still should kind of choose what you are more interested. I don't know, mobile app development or web development, you know. And that's also will kind of make easier to decide what kind of books to read, you know. If that's mobile app development, so iOS or Android. Basically, what phone are you using? iOS, okay, then probably iOS development, right? And for iOS development, if you have iPad, then on iPad there are Swift playgrounds, which are kind of really easy way to start programming. Just understand algorithmic thinking, all that stuff. I will start with that, you know. Mobile. So if mobile, then Android or iOS. If Android, then Marco probably will be able to suggest better books. If iOS, then still I'm suggesting there is from Apple for free. You can get that Swift programming book that is about Swift programming language. Just open Swift playgrounds on your code. Do not open Xcode because you have to deal with complexity of Xcode, but open playgrounds and go through that Swift book of Apple. Understand what is variable, stuff like that. If you have iPad or actually playgrounds are on Mac now as well. Yeah, check out the playgrounds. Maybe you would like to play those programming games to just understand programming concepts about algorithmic thinking. So I don't know how far away you are for programming. If you have completely kind of zero, those games could be just fun way to spend time and little bit understand better what that means. What is algorithm really, you know, stuff like that. Roman trying to use Midjourney to generate visuals for onboarding. I know you tried image generating. Why not for onboarding? I am trying to do not use onboarding at all, Roman, because I think that onboarding is kind of in some apps that is necessary evil. But if you can do not have it, then I'm trying to do not have it. That's it. If I will need images for onboarding, I will try to use Midjourney as well. How you tried SceneKit? Not really. What's your headphones and why don't you use Apple AirPods Max? My headphones are Sony MX4. Apple AirPods Max costs about $600, and that's the reason why I'm not using them. Currently, my Sony MX4s are broken already. I have to replace them. If I could find deal for AirPods Pro Max for something like 300 to 400, I will buy it. If 600, as I see no prices in shops, I'm not going to buy them. Then probably I will buy Sony XM5s. I don't think they worth that price. I think that's way too much for headphones. I would go with Udemy class, look around, they are cheap enough and they will help you decide. Udemy, yeah, if you are lucky and find good Udemy course. Thanks for answering, I love your Twitch streams. Oh, thank you. Nice. Switch playgrounds are fantastic. Yes, they are good. Is React Native much worse for native development? Is React Native much worse? React Native has problems with libraries, all that stuff. With native development, you have less complexity, more possibilities. Are you up for challenge? If you will not get 7k MRR by June, make a video live stream where you have only mustache, not beard. No, by June I will definitely will not have 7k MRR. That's loose for sure. In my calculations, I could get to that 10k MRR in about 2 years, because MRR kind of moving much slower than monthly revenue. Even, I don't know, basically to be on 10k MRR, actually in real life, in real monthly revenue, probably you will make something between 15 to 20k. So by June, not doable. Even next year June, kind of hard. 2 years, that's I set that goal. That is basically what I would like to achieve, but I'm thinking that I should do that in 2 years. If I will do that in a year, I will be surprised. By June, that is basically not possible. With current products, I should build something new, something big and so, but I don't have even an idea about that. That could be very, very hard. But that could be a good challenge, but streaming with mustache only, I don't know, that's not big motivator. I have no problems to do that. Actually, I did thumbnail for one video, and I was in one short with mustache only as well, yeah. Okay, what else? How many daily downloads are good for inserting in-app payments? There is no, you can insert in-app payments immediately. There is no, I don't know, you don't need, many downloads. If you have, 5 downloads and you can convert one of those persons, that's already good, Yeah, Marco, I'm wrapping up stream in a minute as well. See you later. Why don't you use AirPods Max? Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Okay, last few questions and I'm going as well. So, is it good idea to send direct messages to people on social networks with offer try app with free period in order to test and potentially become customers? Is this good or bad marketing? In my opinion, that's bad marketing. Especially if those random people and stuff like that. I think it is still better to kind of create some kind of content marketing for the application. For example, if you are solving problem for business, try to if I will build apps for not consumers but for businesses, I definitely would create content on LinkedIn. Currently, I'm posting something on LinkedIn time to time, not often, but actually on LinkedIn there are close to 0 content creators. There are very little content, and big part of that content is just shitty content, nothing good, you know. If I would create some products for businesses, I would make content kind of talking about those problems and solutions what I'm kind of building for them. That's it. And then I will try maybe to kind of find some customers on LinkedIn. If I will build product for some specific user groups, I will try to find where those users are, subreddits, Facebook groups, you know, something like that. Going straight to DMs, I don't know, that's like go out on the street to the bus stop and talk to persons and say, oh, maybe you would like to download this application. What it is about cats. I'm not cat person. Oh, okay, then not. It's silly, you know, in my opinion. Is the 10k MRR goal for full-time indie? Yeah, I think so. I actually didn't decide yet at what moment I will drop freelance, but at 10k monthly I should be full-time already. Do you plan to scale your apps to Android web as well? Currently, no. The role is building SaaS, and as indie developer is the support. It's all encompassing, and I and can risk putting other projects back. I really like your approach. Compliment over. No shave. Yeah, support is kind of tricky. Yeah. If you're building small indie apps, its support is kind of less. It's easier. Thomas fixed bug. Okay, nice. So you switch it to collection. Basically that's what I said you're on beginning. So basically collection view cell is way more flexible than table view cells, and you can do a ton with that. Hello from Pakistan. Nice, hello, thank you. Why did you choose iOS instead of web when you started? Because I like it. I think that in the life you have to try to do more things that you like. I'm getting questions which tech niche is more profitable, where you can earn more money in Android or iOS and stuff like that. I'm doing what I'm doing because I like to do that. I'm doing this live stream because I like live streaming. I'm developing iOS subs because I like iOS. I'm making YouTube videos because I like making YouTube videos. I'm not doing that just for money. Yeah, sure, I need money to live, and I have to pay all the bills and all that stuff. I'm keeping that in mind as well, you know. But part of things that I'm doing, I will not do if I will think only about money. And things that I'm doing to earn money, I also kind of picking things that I like to do the best. That's why I choose the iOS. Okay, guys, we are a little bit over, quite a bit over, but I think that was kind of nice discussion. Really like your live streams. Thank you, Thomas. And yes, thank you everyone who come. Thank you for all the questions. I'm really happy that I really managed to answer all of them. I didn't have a lot of time for breaks to drink water, but I answered all of them. So okay, guys, see you in the next videos. See you on the next live streams. How is your dog? Oh, my dog is sleeping. He's doing well. His name is Luca. That is a name from Italy. We were in the Sicily, in Italy. It's Sicily Island on vacation, and we, in one of the Airbnb apartment host was Luca, and we decided, oh, you know, that's cool name. Let's name our dog like that. Yeah, thank you everyone. Have a good night. Bye bye everyone. See you on the next live stream. See you in next videos. Bye bye. Keep building, keep shipping, and yeah, reach me out in Discord if you have any specific questions that I didn't answer.